Namaste and welcome to my thesis presentation. My name is Ayushi Chaturvedi. The topic of my thesis is Planning for Urban Industrial Growth, a case of Shahjahanpur Neemrana Behror Urban Complex. I have conducted my study under the guidance of Professor Somnath Sen. The entire presentation has been divided into 7 sections as shown on the screen. In the past few decades, India has seen a significant shift from being an agrarian-based society to an economy driven by manufacturing industries. Urban population has boomed, especially in metropolitan and Class 1 cities, which became the focus of industrial development. As the metropolitan cities become saturated, industries started moving towards smaller cities and towns. This brought an opportunity to expand urbanization beyond the limits of bigger cities and towns. Industrialization and urbanization, although being parallel phenomena, have been treated as two different spatial planning exercises in India up till recent times. This has resulted in urbanization which is unplanned, informal, and dealing from the industrial development. As industries move towards smaller towns, the need for appropriate supporting infrastructure arises. While planning for industrial development, it is imperative to take into account the surrounding region, developing proper housing, related institutions, and basic social infrastructure for the holistic development of the area. The study area is the master plan area of Shahjahanpur Neemrana Behror Urban Complex. It is located along the National Highway number 8 in the Alwar district of Rajasthan. The aim is to study the existing growth pattern of the town cluster and make planning interventions to promote urban industrial growth in the region. To achieve this, three broad objectives have been identified. Number one, to study the industrial growth pattern of the towns and their interaction with each other. Number two, to identify the potential areas for future development of industries and create a framework for their development. Number three, to prepare a zoning atlas for the industries in the identified area and recommend planning guidelines. This flowchart shows the methodology followed for this study. The scope and limitations for the study are given in these points. The following topics were studied as the part of the literature review: zoning atlas for siting of industries, relevant policy initiatives, linking urbanization and industrialization, classification of industries, industrial ecology, and the cluster theory. Creating a zoning atlas is based on the following objectives: to zone and categorize a region or district's environment, to identify the location for siting of industries, to prepare a catalogue of industries according to their suitability in the identified location. This table depicts the inferences and observations derived from the chosen case studies. The preparation of zoning atlas for the districts of Kota and Baran in Rajasthan was studied. The inferences drawn from it are: understanding of biological diversity and incompatible land use, air and water pollution sensitivity, categorization of industries, and site suitability. The study of San Diego Region Industry Cluster gave pointers on common infrastructure for industries and relationship of industries with surrounding areas. The industrial town of Kalundborg talked about the interrelation of industries. Data collection and analysis are divided into two parts. First, the data collected through primary and secondary means, and the inferences and observations drawn from it. This table describes the primary data collection process, why certain data were required, the sources and means, and the inferences that were drawn from them. Similarly, this table gives the description of the secondary data that was collected. The inferences drawn from the data analysis have been summarized in these points. There is a need to identify land for future development and expansion of industries. Housing stock does not match the housing demand. There is an absence of public transportation for intra-town movement. There is a lack of proper education and skill development institutions. There is no business district or proper retail and commercial establishments. There is a lack of recreation and interactive green spaces. For future growth, developable land has been identified. Connectivity of the study area is shown in this image. NH8 connects it to Delhi in the north, to Jaipur and Mumbai in the south. A state highway connects it to the proposed Erythropolis and the Bhiwadi industrial town. The RRTS, that is the Regional Rapid Transit System, which starts at Delhi, comes through Rewari, comes to the study area, and further goes down south to Alwar where it terminates. Considering the physical features, existing settlements, and the alignment of National Highway and RRTS, developable land has been identified for the study area. This map shows the identified developable land and the alignment of RRTS and National Highway number 8. The main focus of this framework is building with the existing advantages of the region, the three core components of development with the idea of industrialization and urbanization in mind are business, people, and environment. Business or industries, in this case, the manufacturing industries and the services, people whose life we are trying to improve, and the environment which we are trying to protect. The framework has been divided in 5 steps. The first step is selecting focus area. It can be a specific location, a zone, one or more sectors, or the entire district. Second step is defining the context. A description on the present and past conditions of the focused area should be prepared. The next step is setting up goals. This step involves identifying clear goals specific to the context of the focus area. The fourth step is identifying the assets and challenges, the site's existing strengths and challenges that would aid or hamper in achieving the desired goals. This would help in determining the right tools, which is the next step. Selection of right tools, identifying tools and linking them to the challenges and obstacles. Various goals have been identified under each of the three components. Under industries, three goals have been identified: to attract new industries, to retain and expand existing manufacturing units, and to infill the vacant plots. For people, 5 goals have been identified: high quality housing, improving transportation, provide them with advanced education and skill development, planning for commercial district and mixed land use, and open spaces and recreation. For the environment, 4 goals have been identified: preserve and protect the natural environment, compatibility of adjacent land use, reduction of environmental pollution, and development control regulations. The proposal is divided into 3 parts: zoning atlas, broad land use map, and transportation network. There are 4 steps towards preparing a zoning atlas. The first step is classification of industries. This is being done on the basis of the pollutants that they emit and the waste that they generate. According to the solid waste generation, industries are divided in the following 3 categories. Another 3 categories have been made according to the water pollution. Classification has also been done on the basis of air pollution. Pollution is multifaceted. Every industry generates more than one type of pollution. The table shows various possible combinations of these categories. Based on this, 5 zones have been defined. Zone 5, which is the red zone, will house the most polluting industries. Zone 4, which is the yellow zone, will house the medium polluting industries, whereas Zone 3, which is the green zone, will house cleaner industries. Zone 2 will house buffer areas and green belts, and Zone 1 will house residential area, commercial areas, institution, mixed use, etc. The next step is site suitability, which is identifying suitable location for each of the zones. This flow diagram shows the various factors that affect site suitability, like the physical features, existing settlements, the incompatible land uses, the areas that need to be avoided based on the air pollution and surface water pollution sensitivity. The final step is creating the zoning atlas. As you can see, the red zone, the most polluting zone, has been located at a distance from the river and the Aravalli Hills as well as most of the settlements. Thus, Zone 4, which houses the moderating polluting industries, is located between Zone 1 and 2 and the Zone 5, still being significantly away from the river and existing settlements. Zone 3, buildings in this would be the ones that are least polluting. They may not be hardcore manufacturing units, but establishments such as assembling units, warehouses, repair shops, etc. This would also provide a transition between the industrial land use and other land uses. Zone 4, for the purpose of this study, Zone 4 is restricted to providing green buffer to the national highway. Zone 1, this zone includes the residential areas, the central business district, recreational facilities and institution. The zone is expanded in a way that growth direction would lead to create a united city including the present day Neemrana and Shahjahanpur. This schematic would allow uniform development on either side of the national highway and the RRTS corridor. This is the phase 1 of the development. Phase 2. Next is the land use plan. The image here shows land use cross section. It suggests how various land uses should be located with respect to each other. This is the land use map that has been generated. The table here shows area and percentage of developed land under each land use category. The proposal of transportation network has been divided under 5 headings. The table here shows the road hierarchy, the width and green buffer or plantation required for each of the categories. This map shows the road hierarchy and identifies major transport nodes. A description of each of these nodes has been given. Following points have been given to promote non-motorized transportation and traffic segregation. Road section for arterial and subarterial roads have been shown here. 5 major intervention points have been identified and planning guidelines have been suggested for them. 2 main guidelines given under housing are for EWS housing and working hostels and co-living spaces. For industrial land use, various guidelines have been made. Similar guidelines have been outlined for the central business district and the education district. The study area has a hot and dry climate. Through these obligatory provisions, we wish to harness as much solar energy as we can, conserve rainwater, and increase green cover. This table shows the goal setting with respect to all the proposals and recommendations that were made. India is a rapidly developing country. Planning for smaller towns and rural areas adjacent to the booming industrial zones would not only benefit the economy but also improve the living conditions of people. Efforts need to be made to create a holistic plan for both industrial growth and urbanization. Here is a list of the references. Thank you for your time. Stay home and stay safe.